Welcome back, guys. This is Alex with Mage's Library. I appreciate you spending your time with me today. If you watched my earlier video, you know that I was creating some eBay listings today. I watched the trailer for War of the Spark, and it's looking like Amonkhet and Ravnica is going to be colliding. So I think it's good to get my Dissension cards listed along with Guildpact, Ravnica. Double check my Return to Ravnica, Gate Crash, Dragon's Maze, those type of sets. Make sure those are all listed on my eBay account. And I know that I need to get our Devastation singles listed. So I went through my boxes of inventory that I'm processing. I pulled some of the Dissension that I saw. Just want to give you guys an idea of how I go through inventory, how I process it, how I grade it. On my TCGplayer account, all of my Dissension cards, with the exception of the rare cards, the more expensive cards, they're gonna go in as moderately played just because of the generation of cards, how old they are. They do take longer to build up. This stack of Dissension cards is pretty reflective of a year's worth of buying collections from individuals and stores that unload some of their product to me. Things that I find on Craigslist, that kind of that sort of nature. So here's all of the uncommons from Dissension that I've acquired for about a year now, and I'm gonna go through these. I'm gonna get them organized, break them down by color, and then I get the numbers adjusted in TCGplayer. I go into the garage, I file them away into my boxes, and double check my eBay account, see if I have anything that I can add as a listing. For example, I think I know I didn't have any pain magnifications in stock, so I'll get that relisted in TCGplayer, and if I come up with a play set that looks good, it'll end up on eBay. But you're gonna notice that this particular phase of production, that you're not gonna watch me find anything crazy expensive that we're going to lose our mind over. We're not going to see any dual lands in here. What this is this is the breakdown. These are the things that get skimmed over, if you will, when I purchase a collection, when I bring in inventory. And it's not necessarily bulk, but it's stuff that it just can't be a priority until I've built this up. And so I'm using today to get Dissension restocked, relisted for anybody that's going to be interested. And again, I list these at moderately played unless they're the spell snare. This was the original printing for spell snare. If I come across any spell snares, I'm gonna grade those, make sure that I'm not undervaluing it, if you will. But otherwise, Politician Accord, that's going to go in there at moderate played. This is an example of something that I'm actually just going to end up ultimately throwing away. It has a lot of fading on the back. There's a lot of whitening. There's actually a small ding in there. And because of the volume of cards that I work with and handle, it makes no sense for me to list this as heavily played or damaged. Unfortunately, it just goes straight to the trash can. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Court Hussar is another one that I noticed that I was out of stock in on TCGplayer. Again, if I end up with a set, it'll make its way onto eBay. I know that I have a few followers on there, and I really appreciate that. I hope that they send you notifications when I list something. That way, if you had your heart set on something and you're following me, I appreciate your patronage. Nothing makes me more satisfied to know than there's people out there who appreciate the work that I do. Hope you get notifications, see something you like, you know that I'll put it in the mail for you. So otherwise, like I was saying, I'm not expecting to see anything real crazy. This stuff ends up in the 32 count boxes as it builds up, and then I'll process it all out at once. So I've already gone through this. Again, spell snares, they go in straight away. What was the other there's some other cool stuff in this set. I always think of the year that Dissension came out, the summer that summer the Tool CD came out too. So I remember listening to that Tool CD and playing Dissension and drafting that set. I really liked the Rakdos set, or the Rakdos Guild. But that's just, personal history and what I enjoyed about it. But their spell snares, they always come out first. I think there was Condemn. I think this was the first printing of Condemn. And I'm not seeing it. Oh, Placaster Frogling is real popular right now. And then there was Trigon Predator. I was not expecting to see any of those. As I process mixed lots in, those are cards that I usually flag, pull out, and get them listed in TCGplayer or eBay as quickly as possible. So this is just one step of the process. I still have to go through, alphabetize these. I'm going to do a double check of, there's probably about 300,000, or excuse me, probably about 50,000 cards just in that little lot over there. So I'm going to make sure that I didn't have another segment of Dissension cards. Nothing irks me more than to know that I took the time to process all of this Dissension and then to find another stack, even if it's that big, or a full 32 count box of it. So don't let that happen to yourself. Staying organized and being as efficient as possible is one of the most important aspects of running this as a business. Again, I can't stress this enough. If I move 3 more boxes and realize tomorrow that I had another segment of Dissension, I made this as inefficient as possible, and I basically have to do double the work. So always label your stuff. Try to be as organized as possible. There's no fast way about it. It just takes hard work and grinding it